The Septuagint, an ancient Greek translation of the Hebrew Old Testament, was more than just a linguistic bridge. It was a monumental translation that profoundly impacted the history of Christianity. The impetus for its creation largely stemmed from the linguistic shift among diaspora Jews from around the 3rd century BC. As Jewish communities spread beyond Palestine, primarily centered in Alexandria, Egypt, they increasingly adopted Koine Greek as their everyday language, moving away from Hebrew. This naturally led to a growing need for a Greek version of the Old Testament for synagogue worship and personal devotion. The historical account known as the Letter of Aristeas also describes a significant contributing factor. Ptolemy II, the Egyptian king, desired to include important world literature in the Library of Alexandria, and thus commissioned the translation of the Jewish scriptures. While this legend attributes the name Septuagint to the 72 Jewish scholars purportedly involved, it's more likely that the translation was a gradual effort by multiple scholars over an extended period. The broader Hellenistic influence following Alexander the Great's conquests, which established Greek as a common language throughout the Near East, also made such a translation a natural progression of the times. The translation's source material was the Hebrew Old Testament, though it differed somewhat from the standardized Masoretic text we possess today. At the time of the Septuagint's creation, the Masoretic text had not yet been fully codified, suggesting that the translators likely worked from various existing Hebrew manuscripts. Discoveries like the Dead Sea Scrolls have confirmed the existence of diverse Hebrew manuscripts during that period, explaining why the Septuagint sometimes presents verses or phrases that vary from the Masoretic text. Furthermore, the Septuagint was not translated in one go. It's believed that the Pentateuch was translated first, followed by the prophetic and wisdom books, with the entire Old Testament completed around the 1st century BC. This monumental translation had an immense impact on the early church and the history of Christianity. During the New Testament era, most Jews spoke Greek, and as the gospel spread to Gentiles, the Septuagint became the primary scripture for early Christians. New Testament authors frequently quoted from the Septuagint when referencing the Old Testament, which is why Old Testament passages cited in the New Testament occasionally show slight variations from the original Hebrew. Given that Greek was one of the official languages of the Roman Empire, the Septuagint proved to be a crucial tool for effectively communicating the Jewish and Christian messages to non-Jews. It enabled Gentiles to grasp the prophecies and history of the Old Testament, thereby laying the groundwork for their acceptance of the gospel. The Septuagint also played a significant role in shaping theological terminology by translating Hebrew concepts into Greek. For example, the Hebrew Mashiach, Messiah, was translated into the Greek Christos, which became the origin of the term Christ. Interestingly, the Septuagint also includes several books not found in the Hebrew canon, known as the Apocrypha, for example, Tobit, Judith, Wisdom of Solomon, Sirach, Maccabees. While the Roman Catholic and Eastern Orthodox churches recognize these as canonical, Protestant denominations do not, highlighting the complex influence of the Septuagint on the formation of the Christian canon. Finally, the Septuagint significantly influenced later biblical translations, including the Latin Vulgate. Jerome's Vulgate, which became the standard Bible for the Western Church for a millennium, drew extensively from the Septuagint. In essence, the Septuagint was far more than just a translation. It was an indispensable catalyst for the development and spread of Christianity.